Bryson sits across Clint's desk, hands folded, jaw tight. He tells him everything. Not dramatized, not softened, just the facts. How weeks ago, Jada called him from a studio bathroom, whispering, crying, scared. How Richard had set up a session that felt wrong from the moment she walked in. How Bryson drove across the city to pull her out. When he finishes, Clint doesn't interrupt. He doesn't ask questions. He doesn't raise his voice. He simply leans back and says, "I'll look into it." The words hang between them, calm, measured, empty. Bryson nods, but inside something breaks. Look into it sounds like a delay, like protection, like another situation handled quietly until it disappears. And Bryson already knows how those stories end. Later that day, alone in his office, Bryson stares at the wall longer than he means to. Then he reaches for the phone. The first call, the producer who helped turn Joe Jackson from a name into momentum. They don't waste time. A studio is booked, same week, no noise. Second call, Joe. Bryson keeps it simple. "I need a favor." Joe doesn't hesitate. He never does. Bryson hangs up and knows exactly what he's doing. Clint may be looking into it, but Bryson is moving. He's not reckless. He's precise. This isn't revenge. It's leverage wrapped in opportunity. Across the office, Clint is making calls of his own, digging, asking questions he should have asked sooner. What Bryson doesn't know is that Richard's rise wasn't earned the way people think. Years ago, before modest media mattered, Richard cleaned those same hallways. His father used to pick him up every night after work. One evening, Clint crossed paths with him in the parking lot. The man smiled proudly and said, "My son's cleaning floors now, but one day he'll be sitting in the offices like yours." Clint believed him. After Richard's father passed, Clint gave Richard the job, knowing he wasn't ready, hoping the position would help shape him into something better. Now Clint wonders if grief clouded his judgment. That afternoon, Bryson returns told someone is waiting in his office. He opens the door and freezes. Chris, standing there like the world never cracked open. Before Bryson can ask how, the news breaks across the office TV. Diane Aspen is dead.
Breaking news. The body of Giant Entertainment music executive Diane has been found, but we will keep you updated as details emerge.
Another affair exposed, forged checks, pressure from Big Don, a letter left behind confessing everything. Chris explains it quietly, almost numb. Then he drops the last thing Bryson expects. "Clint hired me." Bryson congratulates him, smiles, says the right words, but inside, the contradiction stings. A meeting was a betrayal, but this wasn't? Some moments don't make you angry, they make you aware. Later that week, the studio session delivers. Joe and Jada click instantly. The energy is effortless, the song undeniable. Bryson walks in to congratulate them and stops. Joe and Jada are kissing. He backs out slowly, closing the door without a sound. On the walk back, the city feels different. Saving someone only matters if they want it to be saved, and Bryson isn't sure what he stepped into anymore. Back at his desk, the question piles up. Releasing a record would undercut Richard and remind everyone who actually build careers at Modest. But Clint didn't approve it. And Jada, the same person Bryson pulled out of danger, may not be as innocent as he believed. The tension has shifted. It's no longer just Richard. It's trust. Clint, Chris, Richard, Jada. Bryson leans back in his chair staring at the ceiling. There's a version of where he stays quiet, professional, clean. Then there's another version where he lets the truth and the music speak louder than the office politics ever could. He exhales slowly. Sometimes the hardest lesson isn't learning to protect, it's learning who doesn't need protecting at all. Bryson reaches for his phone. Whatever he chooses next will cost him something, and this time around, there's no middle ground. And this is where you decide. Vote blue if you want to protect the system. Bryson keeps the song locked. He tells Clint everything, stays quiet about Jada, let Richard's fate be handled behind closed doors, no public fallout, no messy headlines. Or vote red to bet on the record. Bryson releases the song anyway. He doesn't warn Richard. He doesn't explain Jada. He lets the music in the moment change everything. Do you protect the people or protect the momentum? Follow Bryson the Series right here on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook on Saturdays. And catch Bryson the Series on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube every Monday right here on the CWF network, where we bring you big content in small pieces.